Welcome to Stoner Watch, where I talk about movies, TV shows, some entertainment news, and other cool stuff. And today we're talking about the new Thrawn novel trilogy. I recently finished the new Thrawn novel trilogy by Timothy Zahn. The first novel in the series, titled Thrawn, was released April 11th of 2017. Thrawn Alliances was released on July 24th of 2018, and then Thrawn Treason was released on July 23rd of 2019. Now, I did the audiobook for 2 out of 3 for something a little bit different. Now, it did take a little bit getting used to, but I did really enjoy them. It kind of reminded me of the old radio dramas of the original trilogy I used to listen to as a kid. I'm a huge old EU fan, so the original Thrawn trilogy from the 90s, which were also written by Timothy Zahn, is still one of my top favorite Star Wars stories. Granted, they were never really officially canon, but I love them nonetheless. Marc Thompson did the reading for the audio. I thought he did a pretty good job with the voices for the characters. Pretty much spot on to Thrawn's voice. Sounded just like Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced Thrawn for Rebels, which convinces me even more. Whoever they get for the live-action Thrawn, that dude is going to have to sound like that, in my opinion. But then again, Rosario Dawson is rumored to be casted as Ahsoka Tano, and she doesn't sound like Ashley Eckstein. So, now, like I said, I did really enjoy this trilogy, and I think it was really cool that Lucasfilm had Timothy Zahn return to write it. I thought it was really cool how this trilogy was woven in and around events and characters in Star Wars Rebels, the prequels, and Rogue One. Oddly enough, I've been doing a Rebels rewatch recently. While I did read the first one, and I seem to be listening to the audiobooks for Alliance and Treason at the right times of the show. The first novel, we learn Thrawn's origin. He is rescued from exile by the Empire. His deadly ingenuity and keen tactical abilities swiftly capture the attention of Emperor Palpatine. And just as quickly, Thrawn proves to be indispensable to the Empire as he is ambitious and as devoted as its most loyal servant, Darth Vader, and a brilliant warrior never to be underestimated. Throughout the first novel, on missions to rout smugglers, snare spies, and defeat pirates, he triumphs time and again, even as his renegade methods infuriate superiors while inspiring greater admiration from the Empire. As one promotion follows another in his rapid ascent to greater power, he schools his trusted aide, Ensign Eli Vento, in the arts of combat and leadership and the secrets of claiming victory. And the first novel also takes us into Season 1. We meet Governor Pryce for the first time and watch her rise to power with the help from Thrawn. In the second novel, it picks up right after Season 3's finale and takes us on a 2-part adventure with Anakin Skywalker, Padme, and Darth Vader on the planet of Batuu that's featured over at Disneyland and Disney World. In Thrawn Alliances, Thrawn helps Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala take down a secret droid factory. At the same time, he helps Darth Vader track down a disturbance in the Force felt by the Emperor, which turned out to be an alien race known as the Grisk, using Force-sensitive children to help navigate the unknown regions due to lack of nav computers. Apparently a trick that they learned from the Chiss ascendancy. Thrawn explains that the Chiss Force sensitives are overwhelmingly female and eventually outgrow their Force powers as they reach adolescence and adulthood. Thrawn also in Alliances seemed to be hinting at that he knew that Darth Vader was also Anakin Skywalker, because he kind of kept on bringing it up throughout the whole entire novel. Thrawn's new Greek bodyguard Rook shows up in Alliances, though they don't really say how he came to serve Thrawn. In Legends, his people were tricked by the Empire for their service as assassin saboteurs. Zahn recreates a scene from Legends with the interaction of Rook Commodore Farrell, which seemed awfully a lot like the same as Rook and Captain Pelion. Don't get me wrong, I love how he did that. I thought it was one of the many awesome nods to the 90s trilogy. Thrawn's Treason takes place following General Hera Syndulla's failed raid against the TIE Defender multi-role starfighter assembly line on Lothal. Governor Tarkin informs Grand Admiral Thrawn that his TIE Defender project is facing competition from Orson Krennic's Stardust project and instructs him to rendezvous with the Emperor Palpatine to plead his case. During the meeting, Director Krennic informs him that the Stardust project has been held up by Greylocks, a larger cousin of the Mynock, which have attacked power cables and couplers at the equipment transfer point. To resolve this dispute between Thrawn and Krennic's rival projects, Tarkin convinces the Emperor to restore the funding to his Defender program if Thrawn is able to resolve the Greylock problem. Krennic agrees, provided that Thrawn can destroy the Greylocks within a week, a proposal that Thrawn accepts. As Thrawn tries to solve the Greylock problem for Krennic, he discovers that the missing freighters are not the Greylocks after all, but stolen. In the process of tracking them down, they stumble upon one of the missing freighters. While investigating, they detect the Grisk warship. Eli Vanto reappears after being MIA aboard the Chiss vessel Steadfast, commanded by Admiral Aralani. Thrawn then joins forces with the Chiss to defeat the Grisk before they can invade his homeworld and the Empire. that in the most epic non-lethal space battle ever, Thrawn confronts Grand Admiral Savit on his stealing equipment from the Empire. Of course, he denies this, but Thrawn presents cryptic records of his accomplices, spaceports, and financial transactions. When Pharaoh and the Chimera shows up to arrest him for treason, she sends out a package of evidence to all the senior officers on the Star Destroyers Harbinger, Stormbird, and Misthunter for them to judge for themselves. The battle then starts. Pharaoh, acting on Thrawn's orders, counters every move Savit makes. The battle almost reaches the point of no return. Then Captain Pelion pledges his support to Pharaoh and Thrawn. In rage and desperation, Savit pulls his blaster to shoot Thrawn, but is stopped by Ronan, who is the assistant director on the Stardust Project, and Major Deja Caloran of Imperial Security Bureau. After the dust clears, promotions all around. Pharaoh gets promoted to command of the 11th Fleet and Vanto commander in the Chiss Navy. Man, that was an awesome book. I mean, interesting characters. It had almost a Sherlock Holmes in space feel. Thrawn proves hands down how brilliant of a military strategist he really is. Marc Thompson's voices really help bring the story to life. I mean, his Thrawn voice is spot on, man. I mean, spot on. And the voice that he used for Admiral Savit, now I don't know if he did this on purpose, but I kept on picturing Sean Connery as the role. I mean, make this uniform white and boom, we've got Grand Admiral Savit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I have listened to Treason several times at this point, and man, I want to see Sean Connery in a Star Wars movie, TV show so bad for tons of reasons, and this just makes me want it even more. No doubt, I'm sure I'm missing a hell of a lot of fine details from this trilogy. That's why I'm definitely going to be going back and reading it or listening to it again and again. I mean, if you have not read or listened to this new Thrawn trilogy, I highly recommend. This is a awesome Star Wars story, I have to say. Now, I read the first book of the trilogy and did the audio for the last two. Now, I'm almost half tempted to go back and get the audio for the first one and do the trilogy all over again, because I have to say, listen to the audio for the last two books. It was just as good as watching the show. Now, granted, you had to picture it in your mind. You didn't see it on the screen, but I can only imagine what it would look like on screen. Whether it was live action or animation, I would love to see that on a screen somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So did you read the new Thrawn trilogy? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you do the audiobooks? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, regardless of how you consumed it, what'd you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think it was better or worse than the old EU Thrawn trilogy? Let me know. I mean, I'm not going to say I liked it better than the old Thrawn trilogy. I like them both for what they are. I mean, they're pretty much both in two different time periods, really, and actually only one being canon. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you click on that subscribe button so you can be notified every time I drop another video. Hey, while you're at it, check out one of my other review videos or check out one of my drum cover videos. Give it a like, give it a share, join in the discussion in the comments down below. Have a good day. Peace.